Smart people do not overthink because they are broken. They overthink because their brain is very good at seeing possibilities. Sometimes too good. One thought becomes two, two thoughts become 10, and suddenly, a simple decision feels like a maze. You want to send a message, but then you think about the words, the tone, the timing, and how the other person might read it. So you wait, you rewrite it, you delete it. You tell yourself you are being careful, but really, your mind has opened too many doors. This is the strange thing about overthinking. It often starts as intelligence, the ability to notice details, to imagine outcomes, to predict problems, to understand that life is not always simple. That ability can be useful. It can help you plan. It can help you avoid mistakes. It can help you understand people, but when it goes too far, the same ability becomes heavy. Your brain stops helping you move and starts helping you freeze. The first reason smart people overthink is control. The brain does not like uncertainty. It wants a map, a plan, a clear answer before anything happens. So when life feels unclear, the mind starts working harder. It tries to think its way into safety. If I understand every possible outcome, maybe I will not get hurt. If I predict every problem, maybe I can avoid failure if I think long enough. Maybe I can finally feel certain, but certainty is not always available. Some things cannot be solved before they happen. Some answers only appear after you move. And that is where overthinking traps you. You are not controlling the future. You are replaying imaginary versions of it again and again. The second reason is that smart people often see more risks. A simple choice may look easy to someone else, but your brain sees the hidden branches. If I choose this job, what if I regret it if I stay? What am I missing if I leave? What if I fail? Other people see a road, you see the whole map, and the map is crowded. This can make you look indecisive, but inside, your brain is trying to protect you from pain. It is searching for the perfect path, the one with no regret, no risk, no embarrassment, no loss. But that path does not exist. Every choice removes other choices. Every direction has a cost, and every life includes some version of what if. The goal is not to find a perfect decision. The goal is to find a decision you can live with. But overthinking keeps asking for a guarantee. And life does not give guarantees, it gives trade-offs. The third reason is that smart people confuse thinking with solving. Thinking feels productive. You are analyzing, comparing, imagining, preparing. It feels like progress, but not all thinking moves you forward. Some thinking is just walking in circles, with better vocabulary. You return to the same problem. You ask the same questions. You create new versions of the same fear. And because the thoughts sound intelligent, you trust them, you call it reflection, you call it planning, you call it being realistic. But sometimes, it is just fear wearing a smart costume. A useful thought creates a next step. An overthought creates another loop. A useful thought makes life clearer. An overthought makes life heavier. A useful thought helps you act. An overthought delays the moment when you must act. The fourth reason is fear of choosing wrong. Smart people often understand consequences very well. They know one decision can change a day, a relationship, a career, or a life. So they try to be careful, and careful is good, but when careful becomes endless, it turns into a cage. You start believing that if you think enough, you can avoid regret. But regret is not always a sign that you chose wrong. Sometimes regret only means you can imagine another life. The life where you said yes instead of no. The life where you moved instead of staying. The life where you were braver, or safer, or someone completely different. And because you can imagine all of them, the life in front of you starts to feel incomplete. This is why overthinking can be so painful. You are not only thinking about one decision, you are grieving every version of life you cannot live. But being human means choosing one path while leaving others behind. That is not failure, that is how life works. There is also a quiet emotional reason. Sometimes smart people learned early that mistakes were dangerous. Maybe they were judged, corrected too harshly, praised only for being right, or forced to act mature before they were ready. So the brain learned a rule: do not be wrong, do not look foolish, do not disappoint people, do not lose control. And years later, that rule still runs in the background, even when the decision is small, even when nobody is attacking you, even when you are safe. Your nervous system treats uncertainty like a threat, so you think more. Not because the problem needs more thinking, but because thinking feels safer than feeling. So what can you do? You do not need to stop thinking. That would not work. And honestly, your mind is not the enemy. Your mind is powerful, but power needs direction. The first step is to ask a better question. Not, what is the perfect choice? Ask, what is the next honest step? A perfect choice asks for certainty. An honest step asks for movement. The second step is to give thinking a limit for small decisions. Give yourself 5 or 10 minutes, then choose for bigger decisions. Write down the options, the risks, and what you actually know. Then stop adding imaginary evidence. Your brain will always be able to create another what if. That does not mean the what if deserves your whole day. The third step is to separate fear from information. Information says, this might be difficult. Fear says, you will not survive it. Information says, this choice has risks. Fear says, you must avoid all risks. Information helps you prepare. Fear tries to keep you frozen. Learn the difference. And finally, remember this: your life is not built only by the thoughts you think. It is built by the steps you take after thinking. A smart mind can open many doors, but you still have to walk through one. Overthinking is not proof that you are weak. It is proof that your mind is trying very hard to protect you. But protection is not the same as living. Sometimes the kindest thing you can do for your mind is not to give it another answer. It is to give it a direction, one small step, one honest choice, one door, and then movement.